for writing business, which is what everybody wants to do, right? So, all right, guys, making the money, on the way to doing that. You're close. You're so close to making the money. You absolutely have every opportunity to make as much money as you want. There's no bars, there's no like roofs that are holding you back. You can make anywhere from $0 to millions of dollars. It's really up to you. Everyone is capable. It's whether they choose to do it. Okay, this is all this business is about. If you choose to do something else over dialing the leads because it's annoying to get hung up on, you will not make the money. You might as well think about that now. If you choose to go drive your kids around because that's what they want you to do versus sitting here and dialing the leads or having your appointments, you're not going to make the money. You might as well leave now. If you choose to do two jobs and try to do this as well, that's the money you're going to make. So you just have to understand your choices are what dictates the money, not the lead type, not the lead source, nothing of the sort. Okay. It's all about your activity and getting you to make the money 100%. All right. So how do we do this? How do we start? What do I do? How do I become good at this? You all at this moment, every single one of you suck at calling the leads, at the script, at anything insurance related. And that's a good thing. The reason it's a good thing is because now you know the level where you're at. Okay. You know exactly where you're starting. And you know that you're not going to suck any more now, any more in the future than you do right now. Now, when you are wanting to get better, these are some of the people that I watched, and to give you a little bit of a quick rundown of how it worked with me, is when I came into this industry, not a single person was doing telesales in my team. Not Marisa, not Rami, not Afro, not Trey Honeycutt. Nobody was doing it in my team. However, the person that hired me said I could. So with a will, I learned how to do it. And I do pretty well. I did $516,000 last year in my second full year. So I'd have to say I pretty much learned pretty well. And I really just watched these people. Like I watched them at the beginning so much because these people, Ryan Reynolds, he was my go-to guy for telesales. And he not the actor, by the way. This is the Family First Life Ryan Reynolds. So you have to look him up separately. But he was my go-to telesales guy. Trey Honeycutt, he is one of our integrity partners. He is FFL Coast to Coast. You're going to see him at the lock-ins. You're going to see him on stage if you haven't already. You're going to see him on everywhere. Sean Mike, he is our CEO. Anything you watch with him will make you learn something. It's just a golden nugget every single time. Marisa Maggio, you'll see her on the dial team a lot. She is the integrity partner and FFL Solidity agency. Grady Polson, he's been in the industry with Sean for quite some time. I don't even know how long, but he is in Arizona and he is FFL USA. Juan Franco, he is who I watch if I want to learn about IULs. And I'm going to back up. Grady, Sean, Ryan, Grady and Sean are my, like when I want to learn about business, money, those are who I listen to. Marisa, I just love her tonality and I love how she has the same script verbiage every time. I can't do that. I'm just not that type of person. I'm not a real stick to it script person. I just can't. So I really watch her so that I can get better at that. Juan Franco, he's all about IULs. He's been king of IULs for a couple years now. Nita and Hayden Hill, I'm going to talk a little bit more about them later, but they were the ones that introduced me to our CRM system that I use, and I'll pass on to you once we get to that section. Mark Mead, Paul McLean, if you have any need for understanding the connection between serving people, having a heart to serve, what your purpose is in life, if you have any sort of need for the guidance for the spiritual aspect of making money, they are your people to listen to. Erica Walker, I highly admire her. She's a single mom. She is young, she's tall, she's skinny, she's blonde, but she has a real dang good business and she did it on her own. So she's independent. She's going to push through. She goes through that suck and she doesn't stop. And that's why I follow her. Okay, when to train. You're going to train at the beginning every single day. In fact, I still will train every time I can. If I'm at the gym, if I'm in the shower, I bought a speaker so I could listen to it in the shower. While I'm making dinner, I have my ears in. While I'm having coffee in the morning and nobody else is awake, I listen to training. I listen to those people all the time. I find them on YouTube, and then I just move from there. Who else did I like? Maybe they had somebody on that I liked. So I find them and start listening to them. If you cannot work because you're doing something else, start listening to them while you're there. Maybe you're waiting for the doctors. Maybe you're at your other job and you have time to listen to something. Listen there. Maybe you're driving your kids here and there. Listen there. If you're hanging out with, taking a walk, maybe listen there. Just listen to trainings all the time. Keep listening. I do send some periodically, and I used to try to send them daily, but I try to send them periodically now. You'll take one, you'll listen to it, you'll like it, you'll either follow it, subscribe to it, and or just listen to somebody from it, right? But the key thing here is, guys, you can train and train and train. What you need to do is implement it. You have to implement what you learn into your own business. Welcome to business ownership. And so what you do with your business, there's no right, there's no wrong. You just have to stay compliant. You have to stay legal, and everything else is all on you. And I'm just here to help you. Everybody here is here to help you. In fact, all of these meetings that you see on the left between Solidity and Just Serve and Sean Mike, those are all free meetings. Take a picture right now of them. And then after this call, not now, but after this call, add them to your calendar if they're not already. All right, let's talk about where we're going to work. We work on the Zoom. We talked about that already. What's important right now is to, after this call, write down your schedule. What am I committing myself to? How many hours am I working? Who do I have to block out so that I can work those hours? Set your calendar. I use Google Calendar. And when you're in your working hours, log on to the Dial Team. The Dial Team is where it's at this point moving forward. Camera on, unmute, make sure that you're getting the help that you need. Okay, this is where you're going to determine how fast you make money. If you're afraid to unmute, if you're afraid to have your camera on, you can expect it to take 6 to 9 months, sometimes even a year, to start making $10,000, $15,000 a month. Okay. And that sounds great. Like, oh, 10 or 15,000. I only bring in 3,000 right now. But remember, that's business money. That's not your money. So those are small numbers. I mean, to put it bluntly, yesterday, I think I wrote 11, maybe 12,000 in one day. The day before that, I was at 10 or 11. I can't remember. Today is only 2. And I say that because you have to understand that that's business money. So I pay myself. So while I'm telling you this, I'm telling you because I want you to make money fast. And being here on the Dial Team is going to help. The dialteam.fflall.com. There's all kinds of people that can help too. If I'm not there, it's okay. Christina's there, Maurice is there, Aphrodite's there, Clint is there, Rami's there, Eric Schmidt is there. Anybody you see that is consistently on the leaderboards, that's who you're going to want to get advice from. If you've never seen their name on the leaderboard, or if you haven't seen them consistently having the money amount near their name, you can listen to be kind and polite, but double check with somebody else, because obviously they're giving information that is unreliable if they're not writing business, right? Once you're writing 15,000, absolutely help people. That's what we do. We help people to get better faster. We want people to get better faster. And so if you can help somebody, always help somebody. But be honest with yourself. Am I doing right by them, or should I guide them towards somebody else? Right? But be confident that you will. If you're writing 10 to 15,000 a month, you're good. You know what you're doing, right? You're just going to get better from there. Okay. Social media. Now's the time, even if you hate social media like I do, or you're not good at it, now's the time. Now's the time to start getting on it. This is where you're going to build your business and get free leads even, right? I was horrible at social media. So what I did was I hired my daughter. She's in Virginia. She does all my social media for me. I send her, she tells me what to do. I send it to her. She makes it pretty. She puts it on the computer. I don't know what she does. About 3 or 4 times a day. I sometimes will throw things in there. Or even better, start following people. All the people I showed you at the front page, start following them. Share their stuff, right? But social media, post about your good things. Hey, I don't know what this is about, but I just started something new today. I think it's going to go well, but you might like it too. Follow me on my journey, right? Or, oh my gosh, I had my first sale today. I just helped a person and I just made $1,700. Holy smokes. Want to do it? Message me. When you do stuff like that, if you want to, hire people, if you want to send them to me, that's all you have to do. You have to text me and you have to say, hey, Heather, with the person, say, hey, Heather, I have George here on the, George, he's out of Kentucky. He's interested in the opportunity. You don't have to know anything. You don't have to be doing good, because you might not, but George might. George might kill it. And you might say, I hate this, right? In fact, my daughter started this before I did. Now she's my social media because she hated this, and I'm doing fairly well, right? So if she had never done that, if we had never talked about it, then it wouldn't be that way. So, reach out to your social media, share it on Instagram. I don't know if TikTok's even still a thing, actually. I got to figure that out. I don't even know. All right. Hierarchy. Why should I recruit? Again, you don't have to recruit, but if you do, you get higher compensation. That's number one. You don't have to recruit, but the maximum you'll get without recruiting is $40,000. 120%. So you have to be writing $40,000 a month, twice in a row to get 120%. So May of 2025, June of 2025, you get automatically bumped up. Okay. If next month you all start writing 25,000, you all get a bump to 105%. And it really is an individual thing. When I say you all, what I mean is you all have that opportunity. If you start hiring like crazy and your team starts writing and you get to be 200,000 a month, you get a bump in your comp. So you just have to keep working and you keep increasing, and there's nothing that stops you. Even if somebody goes higher than you, they won't, because you'll automatically go higher than them because your team numbers will go up as well. But you won't have a ceiling, okay? And neither will I. And nobody's taking away anybody's money. So if you hire somebody you're 100%, you hire somebody at 80, they're going to be at 80 no matter what, because without being licensed, that's your starting contract. As an agency, I can choose to start somebody licensed at 100%. I wouldn't do that if you weren't at 100%. But they have every ability to get to 100% because it would just push you up more as well. Okay. Now, when we talk about agencies, you can see on the right, there's you. Right now, you are an independent agent. You are at a certain comp level. You have every ability to increase that comp level when you write business. When you write enough business to where you're writing 25% of 100,000 and your team is writing 100,000 2 months in a row, you get to pick a logo. You get to get your logo drawn for you. You get to publish your logo. So our logo for our team, you are under Heather Robeson is your direct upline, and Just Serve is FFL Just Serve or Just Serve Insurance Solutions is our agency. Now we are a subsidiary of FFL Epiphany, in which case, Noelle, I know you are under Afro. She doesn't have a logo yet. But once she gets one, that will be your, you are under Nathaniel, actually. He is your direct upline, okay? Tiffany, you're going to be moved over. Jackie, I'm your direct upline. Christina is FFL Epiphany. She is all of our upline. So Noelle, it's for you, it would be Nathaniel, then Afro, then me, then Christina. Then we have Marisa. Christina and Marisa are both sisters. They're both out of Boston. But Christina doesn't write. She actually is just a business person. She just does all the business. She doesn't have very rarely will you ever see her call anybody. She does all the business for Marisa's group. And then we have Trey Honeycutt. He was on the call today. He's coast to coast, and he is our integrity partner. And then, of course, the Rogue IMO is Sean. Okay. So now how do I start selling? Because that's what's going to make us money. What do I need? So the most important thing is that you need to do the schedule. You need to be able to commit to yourself so that you have working time. That's the first thing. But there are going to be some things that you need. And Tiffany, we were talking about this earlier. You're going to need leads because we're not a company that you go around, you call out of a phone book, or you go door to door knocking on people's doors. We're not like that. And we're not like that because most of the time, you're not going to make a lot of money that way. Maybe you'll get lucky and make some money, but these leads that we have are literally people who are looking on the internet. They're looking on YouTube, they're looking on Facebook, they're looking somewhere, and they're looking for life insurance. We start out with final expense IULs, so we're not partial. Mortgage protection if you want. I give you all kinds of leads. You're going to have a plethora of leads, and you're going to just call them all. You can get good at one, and it's all the same concept, so don't be afraid of leads, okay? Now, at the beginning, if you request them, I will give you leads. I give them for free. So if you're not coming into this business with lots of wealth, this is your ticket. This is huge. The leads you're going to get are the same ones that I dial, and the same ones Clint dials, and the same ones Marisa dials. They're from the same systems. They're good leads. Remember, you suck. So until you start calling those leads and failing at calling them for whatever reason, maybe you said the wrong thing, maybe you went off script, maybe you got scared and hung up on them, whatever that fail is, that's good. You want to fail. You're going to fail. And the more you fail, the faster you fail to 100 fails, the better you're going to get. So use the free leads because you can do what you want, but if you use the free leads, you're failing on my money, not yours. Right? You're calling people that you didn't have to pay for. Now, if you choose not to do the free leads, that's fine too. You can buy your own leads. I don't stop anybody. You're an independent business owner. You make your own choices. Now, if you get free leads from me, there's going to be two ways that you can do it. One, you can get them in a CSV file. If you choose not to have a CRM of any kind, you will have to dial from your own phone. The problem with that is that you come up as spam frequently. You can't keep track of your leads. You have no idea who you dialed unless you write it down on paper and then you make notes next to them and you have to read all the notes. It just doesn't sort it for you. So I highly recommend that the first thing, since you're taking the lead program, is to get into the Ringy that I use. I use Ringy. The reason I use Ringy, because I've been in it for 3 years. And Agent CRM Center is another option that other people use. Other people use Ringy too, but I developed my Ringy far before Agent CRM Center came out, so I don't want to switch, and they're approximately the same cost. Now, I have some good news. This is brand new news today, like just hot off the presses. We will be transitioning into the Integrity CRM, which is completely free. So the more information to come. It'll hopefully be transitioned within a month. That's what my goal is and my team's goal is we're going to transition into a free CRM that Integrity has given us. But we're just in the learning phases of it now, so I don't want to roll it out for my team until I'm confident that it's going to work just as well as Ringy. So that's coming out. Ringy is, well, it's free for the first 13 days. And once you're ready to dial, I will have you sign up through a link. So don't go logging on now and trying to get into it now. You're going to waste your money and your time. Once you're past your script training and all that, once you're past that, you're going to go into Ringy. I'll give you a link. You can get it set up. I'll send leads to you. And you get to call them from Ringy. I'm going to show you how it's done. When you want leads, or when you think you don't need, you need more leads, we'll have a talk. We'll go into a breakout room and we'll look at your leads and we'll say, okay, how did you do? Right? And then we'll either get you new leads, or I'll say most of the time it's, well, you've only called these twice. You need to call them again, blah, blah, blah. We go over all that. Families and friends. Guys, this is important. Families and friends are the highest chargeback out of anybody you write. You can write family and friends, and you should protect them in a good manner. But you have to understand, number one, the insurance companies, they will not give you full comp on family and friends. You will be as earned. What that means is they're not going to advance you the money. Still should write them. Very important that your family and friends are insured properly, but be cautious. Your family and friends will cancel their policies, not realizing you got to advance that money. So you then have to pay that money back or go, kill your friend or something. No, just kidding. But be careful of writing them. A lot of companies will make you do family and friends and only do family and friends. I can't imagine working like that. You run out of them. Like literally, I don't know who I'd write. So, if you have somebody that needs life insurance, you're contracted with all the carriers, we talk and we go over their issues, go over their health, go over everything. If you can, get them to practice your script with you. That way you can go through the script as if they were a lead. And if they're a lead and you practice your script and practice your script and practice your script, when it's actually time to call the leads, you'll know the script. If you come in this without actually practicing your script, you're going to feel like you're a hot mess. And you're going to leave that call and you're going to be so mad at yourself that you didn't listen to me. Google products, those are free, guys. Set up your calendar. Set up your everything. You're going to get the sales tracker, which you already got. Actually, you should check your email for that. That's if you have a sale and you track it. You keep track of your clients. The password file, here's what I'm going to do now. Well, we're going to go over that. You'll get that as well. Anything like eFax and DocuSign, you're not going to really sign up for those things until you need it. But you maybe need to fax carrier or something, or you might need to DocuSign something and you have to pay for it. So there's little things here and there that you might need to do. If you have any questions on how to do something, you're gonna call the carrier. You're gonna call the new business hotline, and you're going to ask them, okay, I got this email this morning. What does this mean? Revised illustration. What does that mean? They're going to be able to walk you through stuff. You're going to learn as you go. So you're sucking a little bit less every day because you're learning along the way, right? If you sit here and try to learn everything, learn every product, what's best to do this, what's best to do that, it's called paralysis by analysis. You're going to analyze everything and you're never going to make money. Certainly not for a long time. I would never discount you, but it'll take you way longer instead of just jumping in the water and dealing with the cold. All right. Things that you must have. When I say must have, remember, I'm not your boss. I'm just a mentor. And these must haves are going to make you do things faster and learn quicker. Okay. And they're going to just make things easier for you. So we have scripts. We have client sheets. We have a dial tracker. You must have good internet and you must have good phone service. If you don't have a computer to be on Zoom while you're on the phone with your client, you're going to have problems. Okay, so this is where you come for all of your free stuff, all of your tips and tricks. This is my webpage, and you can come here anytime for it. You can also share it with anybody you want. I don't care. And you can connect with me through all of these little tabs here. For agent resources, you're going to see we have training videos. It's very little right now. There's about 5, but always come here to see if there's something updated and or if it's something that you want to learn, like how to walk through a veteran script. IUL flowchart, there's a video on it. How do I present my IULs? Okay, I'm working on this every single day. I try to put a new training in at least 3 times a week. That's my goal. Agent resources for scripts, bam. You open that up. You have 4 scripts here. You have the IUL, you have the final expense, and you have mortgage. Okay, and appointment setter. You're not going to use an appointment setter yet, but someday you might. Each script is small. It's 2 pages because I wanted it to be where you do what you need to do. It doesn't have exact questions on it, but the more you're learning in Zoom, the more you're going to implement the questions that you're going to hear. So start writing things down. Start, putting things that you like. Learn the script. Don't have to memorize it. I'm too old for that. Go through the script and then utilize it. And if you don't understand the script, we do have script training as well. We will do that. There's some on here already in the training videos. There's one for the veteran script. I will get one done for everything as well. But for now, just go through the veterans. Okay. Then you have the financial industry inventory. That's also in agent resources. The script you need to print out. The financial inventory. You're going to go through this financial inventory with every single client. Some people try to write things on notes. Don't. Word to the wise. Write it on paper. My son's even trying to get me to write it in Ringy. I won't. I'm just old school, I guess. However, the new Integrity CRM might give us the ability to do stuff like that. So this paper might be a thing of the past. Okay, but we'll know within a month or 2. This is your financial inventory. When you're in your script, you're going to go through these things, but you're not going to be like, what's your social, right? There's ways of asking for things like that, right? And the more you hear people doing it, the better it is. Okay, so you're going to print out financial inventories. You probably are going to want at least 10 a week because you're going to mess up on them. Right now, I print off 25 a week. And it's been pretty good for me, but that's because I'm doing 25. 25 is my goal, sales per week. That's my goal. So 5 to 10 a week, you're probably going to be good for the beginning. All right. Then you have the dial tracker. That is also in here. And as you will see, it's in agent resources. And there is the dial tracker. Now, it's kind of large, so make sure you make it smaller. Print it out. It's 2 pages. Our weeks start like this. Week 1 of 5 for March starts on March 1st. Doesn't matter what day of the week it is. If day 1 of week 1 is a Sunday, it's still day 1 of week 1. So if the first is a Sunday, it's day 1, week 1. Day 2, doesn't matter what day it is, it's still day 2. So the 1st through the 7th is week 1. 1st through the 7th. 8th through the 14th is week 2. 15th through 21st is week 3. And 22nd through 28th is week 4. Once you get to the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st, that would be considered week 5. Now, we will go over the dial tracker. There is no sense in going over it right now because you guys are overwhelmed by everything. But the dial tracker is going to be pivotal for you to not get frustrated when you're sucking, because this is your activity tracker. Am I working? Am I hitting my goals? Even if it's not my sale goal, am I hitting it? And if I am, then I feel good about myself, because this can hit you hard. This is hard. This is not easy work. The first year of this business, I think I cried at least twice a month. Okay? So I don't know if you'll cry or not. Maybe I was weak, but I didn't give up. I had to make it work. I didn't have a choice. If you have a plan B and you have a choice, then it's probably going to be what you go with, because it's the easier way out. So just be careful. Having a tracker, having an activity tracker helps you to eliminate the feelings that you get of inadequacies and suckiness when you're trying to get better. Okay? So you're going to print that out. At least one per week. All right. The other place that you can get information from, aside from my website, is FFL Solidity. This is Christina and Marisa's website. Pretty much the same thing. Their training's a little bit different than mine. Theirs is more new agent boot camp. Feel free to do that if you want. Good things, start following these people on YouTube. Ways to get through objections, things like that. In home, right? All kinds of things about training. Feel free to go on here and pick those out. Okay. I think you already got it, but this is a carrier contact information sheet. You should print that out, have it beside your desk. All right. Things that are nice to have: desktop, laptop, iPad if you need it. I rarely use my iPad, honestly, only when I work outside in the summer. You guys will see me sometimes working outside or working from the pool, because I can, because we work from home, right? I don't like Androids, but if you have to have one, that's fine. I'll still care for you. You just make our communication highly difficult. Headset for your computer so you can hear the Zoom. And then you have your earbuds in your ear while you're talking to a client. At first, though, guys, you're going to want to unmute your phone so that I can hear the client, or anybody on Zoom can hear the client. And then I can hear you, you can hear me in your Bluetooth headset. I get this one from, I think the last time I got it was from, I always get it from Amazon, but it's a trucker headset. And people tell me that you can hear me really well. And then it also switches. So if my ear's getting, tired or whatever, I just switch it and nobody notices. So I love this one. It's like $34. Don't spend a lot of money on it, but it is one thing that you're going to want to spend at first, since you're getting free leads, right? Standing desk. This is a nice thing, right? I have a standing desk, so I can stand up my computer and I can stand up my desk, so I'm not sitting all day. I also take a break. Every time I write a policy, I'll take a break and I'll walk around the house, or I'll go get a snacky, or I'll go to the bathroom or something like that. And I'll just do that. Because it's a lot of sitting, especially when you're working, 12, 14 hours a day, And then a printer. I mean, it's just a nice thing to have, but you do have to print out a lot. So you're going to be printing out things consistently. You might want to get a cheap printer, at least black and white. All right, so now's your choice. If you want to be a full broker, you want no leads, you just want to go ahead and move, and I'm going to call whatever leads I have. Maybe I come from another agency, I have a plethora of leads to call, perfectly fine. You don't need guidance, you don't need leads, that's fine. You can do that, not a problem. If you are on Lead Assist, which most newer agents are, I provide leads for you, and it says up to 90 days, but in reality, if you're working and I have leads to send to you, I'm likely going to send them. But if you're out 90 days and you haven't come to, Zoom, and once in a while you pop on, I, I've got things to do too. I've got business to run. I've got money to make. Not that you can't do it without my help, because you absolutely can. I didn't have this help when I started. It just took me much longer. So having the leads, make sure you must request them from me. Don't think that I'm just going to give them to you. If you've got leads to dial because you haven't dialed them, don't request for leads, right? But if you dialed and dialed and dialed your leads and you're like, oh, I've dialed these 3 times, I've dialed them 4 times. Hey, Heather, can we talk about leads? Yes, please. I'd give you new leads every single day if you dialed them, but people won't. So I can't judge how fast you'll dial your leads. I can't judge how much you'll work, but I will give them to you at any time if you're working, okay? Now, when you're getting this Lead Assist, you will be required to get on the Zoom and be there dialing and have them live. Unmute yourself in that Zoom room in the mornings. When you're in the afternoons and the Zoom room's not available, if you get on the phone with somebody and I'm not on the phone, we can go into a breakout room. But if I am on the phone and somebody else is helping you, you just have to trust the people that are in the room. Everybody's there helping you. Nobody's there to hurt you. So I know, Noelle, you've been in the Zoom a lot. I know you have while you've been waiting. You see how it works. You see that we help when we can. And we critique when we can. If there's something, there was an agent today who unmutes periodically, and he just doesn't take the feedback. And I'm tired of saying the same freaking things over again. I'm not going to comment. You're one of those people. There's only so much that I can say to help you. If you're not going to put that stuff to use, I'm going to stop commenting. But then there's the agents who aren't even mine, who they'll unmute and they'll talk and they'll get off the phone and be like, why, say it this way or say it that way. And then they'll do it the next time and they're better. I don't have to say anything, right? So unmuting yourself is going to get you where you want to be fastest. So having the leads means you've got to unmute. Because if I can't hear you dial, I've got agents on there who barely ever unmute. And if they do, I don't give them new leads, because how do I know what they're saying? Why should I waste my money? By the way, my money. I could cut down on my lead costs, not give you guys free leads, keep the money in my own freaking pocket, but I don't. I give them to you. So understand, it's not somebody feeding me leads. This is literally my own personal money that I use for my business to give to you because I want you to succeed. But I can't help you to succeed if you don't try to. Make sense? The dial tracker will tell you need at least 300 dials a day. That's literally meaning time. You need to set enough time to dial. That's the basic money right there. All the money. You can call the carriers maybe 1 hour a day, midday. You don't need to call and follow up. You don't need to sit there and analyze your leads and be like, I had an agent today who tried to tell me, he got on Zoom with me, and he was like, well, I've got an appointment on Monday with this guy, and he's an IUL and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, stop. the guy's not going to show up on Monday. He's like, well, he sounded pretty serious. I'm like, I don't care. Stop analyzing the damn lead. He's not going to show up to an appointment. And if he does, you're unmuting yourself. And if you unmute yourself, I can walk you through what to say or what to do. Until then, you just wasted 20 minutes of your life for somebody who's not going to show up for their appointment. Do not analyze your leads. If it says they're 106, it could be a typo or they could be dead. We don't know until you call the lead. Call the lead. Okay. All right. This is it, guys. What do I do now? Take a picture of this, write it down, do what you need to do. These are your steps. To review, put all the trainings that I had in there on your calendar. Don't ask me where it's going to be, when it's going to be. I send out a reminder. It's in Slack and it should be on your calendar. Make sure it's in your time zone, right? If you don't know time zone, Google has a nice time zone map. Find one. Number 2, log into Zoom. Right now, moving forward, if you are working at anything, I'm not going to answer you. Neither is anybody else if you're not on Zoom. Work in Zoom. Number 3, set up your calendar. Put social media time on there, admin time, dial time, laundry, kids, family. If you want to put pooping on there, put pooping on there. Church, training, I don't care what you put on there, but build your calendar because that's going to be the most important thing for you moving forward. If you need to walk your dog, put walking dog time on there, right? So literally anything you have to do, put it on a calendar. Number 4, you're going to get Ringy set up. It'll be for free for 13 days. You're going to pay for it as soon as you can. As soon as you make a sale in that 13 days, you're going to pay for it until we get the free integrity one. So for now, do that and then attend their trainings. You're not going to want to do this if you have not gone into contracting. While you're contracting, that's where you're going to want to do this. Okay. You also, number 5, need to have your computer ready with headphones. Get that stuff done now. Order your headphones if you don't have them. It's going to be an investment that's worth your while. So make sure you're doing all that stuff ahead of time. Print your script, your dial track, your client financial inventory sheet. Attend every single training that you can. And when I say that you can, make it a priority in your life. Attend all the trainings. They're free, guys. Except for the Friday one, they're free. You're going to learn faster that way. Schedule a release presentation. So what that means is if you are contracted, even if you're not contracted fully, you should be scheduling a release presentation now. If you cannot find the email that has that, let me know and I will resend it to you, or I'll just pick a day that works for both of us. A release presentation is you have your script, you've practiced it, you've talked to your dog about it. You've talked to your boyfriend, girlfriend about it, your husband, your wife, your kid, your mirror. I don't care. Get your script done. And you don't have to memorize the script. You just have to understand the script. When you do the release presentation, then we understand it. Because you can't try to understand it without me kind of going through it and saying, well, this is why we say this. If you don't have a script, we're what you call a hot mess. Like you will be a hot mess without a script of some sort. And if you don't like my script, I don't care. I still love you. Pick a script. I don't care. Just stick to the damn script because the script is what keeps you in line and gets you to the close, and the close gets you the money. So if you like Christina's script, if you like Aphrodite's script, if you like Clint's script, I don't care. I will know if you're sticking to it because you're not a hot mess. Okay. So it's so evident. If I say to you, what script are you following? You know that I know. You know that I know. Noelle's heard me say it before. What script are you following? And then you pick your first dial day. So now is the time to start looking and prepping your calendar, getting your set ready for your first dial day. Get all this in place. Pick your first dial day. Tell me what it is. We'll guide you. We'll help you. Yes, it's scary. Yes, you have to press the call button. Yes, you have to worry that the person's actually going to answer the phone, because if they answer, you have to talk to them, and that's scary within itself. And then if you answer and they have to talk to them, you don't know what to say because you haven't looked at your script. So guys, follow these steps, and I guarantee your first day of dialing will be the scariest day of your life in a long time, but it'll be the worst you'll ever be as far as dialing goes. You'll still be better then than you are right now if you follow these steps.